Happy birthday to me. It is my birthday today, and what a better way to spend it than to be stamping out a birthday card. And this one, I decided to give it a splash background, and we're using the Baker from the Supremely Awesome stamp set from Stampin' Up. I just love this pizza guy, but I decided to have him hold a cupcake. Now, he is not just a pizza baker, apparently. So any dessert you can think of that you can have him hold, donuts or, you know, whatever. I used him today to hold my cupcake and my birthday card. And then I used the Circle Saying stamp set, which is really cute. Has this cupcake in it, and that's where the cupcake come from. And also my sentiments are coming from this set also. So Circle Sayings and Supremely Awesome. We're teaming them up to get this cute card. And we're going to start with our splashy background. And I'm going to grab a couple paper towels. Just going to throw a couple paper towels there down because this is kind of a wet process. And I have a piece of Fluid 100 watercolor paper from Stampin' Up. And I have this, and it's 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now you're going to find all the dimensions for this card down below this video. Just click show more and you'll see them all there under the description, and along with all the links to the products that I'm using today. Okay, so we're going to get going here. And I'm going to start by just wetting my cardstock just a little bit, and I have one of these Stampin' Mist things, and it's just filled with water, and I'm just going to give it a couple squirts. I don't want it like saturated. So I have that, and I have one of the water pens or painters, water painters, and I think I'm going to start out with Poppy Parade ink. Now you can squeeze the ink pad into the lid and get a little puddle there if you want. I find it just as easy to get my brush a little wet here. So I'm just going to press this till I get some water down in here, and then I'm just going to tap on that corner. And I'm going to add that to our wet spots. Now we want it to look kind of splashy. So I'm just kind of moving that color around. And at any point, if you don't think it's splashy enough, just get out that mister here again and give it a spritz, and that'll get that water. That water will get that color moving. So we don't want it too splashy. I want some down here along his feet. So we have some down there. And then when I have that color down, I'm going to go ahead and grab some other color, and I'm going to do Calypso Coral next. And this, I'm going to, let's see if I can get, yeah, I got a little puddle there. I'm just going to get some water going out of my brush, and I'm going to add some of that on here also. Kind of looks the same. So we have some of that going. So I have kind of two spots here, and I'm just going to kind of mingle them a little bit together. And I'm going to give this a little spray again. Now anytime you think you need a spray, just do that. You can tap your card different directions to get it to flow here and there. So there is that background. I'm going to clean my brush here, and I'm just pushing a whole bunch of water down into the tip, and then I'm just using it on my paper towel to give it a good clean. So next I'm going to add, I want to add some Parakeet Party. I have some of that color in my lid here. You can always throw some re-inker in your lid if you have it. And I'm just going to add a few dots here and there because I'm bringing that color into my card. I have a puddle there at the bottom, so I'm just going to kind of press that into my paper towel. Now you don't want it to get too crazy, else your colors will start getting muddy. Now I'm picking some color up, and I'm tapping the end of my brush and flicking that color onto the paper. So there's my splashy background. So that, I think I'm going to leave it just like that, and then I'm going to give my brush a clean before I put it away. It's always nice to have a clean tool when you get back to it. And that's all it takes, is just wiping it on your paper towel till all that color is done. Now I'm going to bring in my heat tool. I just want to run my heat tool on this just till it's dry. Okay, so once your cardstock's all dry there, just get rid of that paper towel. We no longer need that. And as I was drying it, I was tapping my card different directions so that if I had like a little puddle somewhere, they would come out and make these marks. I like those splashy marks across my cardstock. Now we have all our colors in here that we have in our cardstock, which is nice. So I just kind of repeated those colors when I put this together. So we have our Parakeet Party and our Poppy Parade and our Calypso Coral. That's always good to keep in mind, that you just want to repeat those colors elsewhere in your project, and then your project won't look so busy. But this is a great background just to put anything in front of. You could do flowers or whatever. The splashy backgrounds are so easy. So we have that, and then I just wanted to put a line across this. I'm just going to come up, let's see, we'll come up about 2 inches. And I want to put a line across here, and I've just got a Poppy Parade. This is the light Poppy Parade Stampin' Blend marker. Just kind of turning this way. And I just want to try to get this straight. I'm giving it a look. And I'm just going to put a little line right here. And that line will help us distinguish that, kind of ground our little baker guy. See, I got that line back there, and it kind of looks like where the wall starts and the floor is. So that keeps him from just being, he's just like floating out there. We've kind of grounded him. We put that little line there. All right, and now I'm just going to stamp a sentiment on here. I'm bringing out my Memento Tuxedo Black. And I have this stamp here. It says celebrate, 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 and it's in a circle. Just going to ink that up, and we're going to stamp that kind of up in the left corner. Right about here. And that is where we're going to focus putting our cupcake up there. And while I have that out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my images, and I'm going to put this panel up for a moment. I'm just going to bring in a piece of basic white, just large enough to hold our images that we have here. And I'm going to stamp my little baker first, since he's the largest. I should say chef. He looks like a chef, right? Give him a stamp down here in the corner. And I'm using that Memento Tuxedo Black. And then I'm also going to use that same color for our cupcake. Now these came out of 2 different sets. It's so nice when you can do 2 images and put them together to come up with just an unusual card that you don't see everywhere. So there is our 2 images, and then we're going to start coloring them. There's not a whole lot of coloring that we need to do on these. I tried to keep it simple. So for his apron, I have a dark Parakeet Party marker here, and I'm just going to color the bottom of his apron in, not the string that holds it. So there is that. And I'm also going to color the cupcake wrapper in with the same color. See, we're repeating colors. So that was our light Parakeet Party. Now I have some ivory Stampin' Blend marker, and I'm going to go ahead and color his skin in. So his face, got his ear there. And then we're going to do his hands. So there's his skin tone. That was ivory. Now I'm bringing in this is the dark crumb cake. So I just wanted a little darker color for the cupcake, the cake itself. So I'm bringing that across there, just so we have a little darkness there. And then I'm bringing in a light poppy parade. And I'm going to do his little, the tie for his apron. And I'm going to put some dots randomly all over our cupcake liner like it's decorated, right? So that was easy. And then I'm going to bring back that ivory again. And I just want some color on our cupcake here. So at the bottom of each level, I'm going to add that color. And that's like our shadow for our vanilla icing that it's on there. And now we're ready just to cut our images out. I already have my cupcake cut out by magic of video. There's that. And I'm just going to cut my little baker here out real quick. And I'll be right back with you. Now I had my little chef all cut out, but I still have this little piece in here. And I just wanted to show you, all you do is just cut straight up the side of his body. And that lets you get to that little piece there that you don't need. So I'm just going to cut that out, and you won't even know that there's that his hand is not attached to his side here when you go to put him on the card. So that's how I got that little piece out without any problem. I missed a little chunk of it there. There we go. So there's our little pizza guy. He's cut out. We did away with, of course, the pizza. So we just have the part of his hand that you can see. Just give him a little trim here. There we go. I try to trim off any white that I see outside of that dark black line, because it will show up. And I like it trimmed really nice and neat. So we have our two pieces there. So now I just have one more piece I want to stamp. And this will be for the inside of our card. And this is Lemon Lime Twist cardstock. Now, a Parakeet Party, Lemon Lime Twist, you can kind of use them interchangeably. They're kind of in the same color family there. They're very close. So I'm going to use Poppy Parade, and I'm going to stamp just Happy Birthday. And this comes out of that Circle Sayings. Just give that a little stamp before we stick it in our cardstock. And now we're ready to assemble our card. So I have a Poppy Parade card base here. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and I folded it in half to create my quarter card. And I'm just going to put my card piece in here for the inside. I'm going to add some love inside, of course. And just center it up in there. There we go. So there's the inside of our card. And then for the outside, I have another Lemon Lime Twist piece here. It's 3.5 by 5.5. And then that's what our splashy watercolor paper is going to be adhered to. And I'm just using multi-purpose glue. You could use any adhesive that you want to. I'm just going to kind of center this on here. And I like to put these two pieces together before I put anything on the front. And I'm just going to flip it over and give it a good rub. And because that watercolor paper is pretty stiff. I want to make sure that it adheres well to that lemon line twist cardstock. So I just like to press it down really well. So there is that, and we're going to add that to our card front. And I'm going to put it over here towards the right. I probably have 1/4 of an inch of the card showing at the right here. And I'm leveling everything at the top. And that way, if I have something that's not the right size, like a lot of times I have like a little bit hanging over like I do here, I can just cut that little bit off and do it all in one swoop. And that's what I'm going to do, and I will be right back. So I have that all even at the bottom now. I just took my paper cutter and trimmed that off. So let's start putting our little pieces on here. Now we're going to need Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of both of these. And for this type of stuff, I like to use the little ends from sheets that I've had laying around. And I'm just going to add some of these little side pieces. When I hold classes, I end up with a whole bunch of these sheets that just have a little bit on them. So I just like to take my scissors and kind of cut through them, make little pieces. That way you don't waste anything. I've seen people throw those away, and I just kind of cringe, and when they turn their back, I get them out of the trash. Anyhow, I'm just cracking myself up today. It's a good day. I'm in the stamp room, right? Okay, so there is our cupcake. Now we just need to get some dimensionals on our little baker here. Let's see. Support his head really good. We can put one on his arm. I just love using these little pieces. You can put a lot of them on and don't feel bad about it, right? Let's support his little legs and feet. Oh, maybe one more. What the heck? Okay, so he's going to be well supported. So I'm going to go ahead and take all of the backings off. Some of you are probably pretty fast at this. I'm kind of not so fast. So there's the backings off of that one. Now he's sticking to me. And the backings off this one. All right. So now I'm going to try to see about where my cupcake is going to be. I kind of want it in the middle of the circle, so I'm just going to lightly lay that down. And then my little guy, I want his hand to be underneath and his thumb in front. So I'm going to kind of move it to where he's holding the edge of it. Let's see here. This is probably the trickiest part of the whole project, is just getting them lined up there. There we go. So now he's holding the cupcake. So just make sure that the cupcake goes over that bottom part of his hand there, but his thumb is in front of the cupcake. And that way he looks like he's holding it well. And so there is that. And then I have a little strip of Calypso Coral here, and this is 1/4 inch by 5.5. And we have that Calypso Coral in our splashy background. So I just wanted to bring in another piece of that so it coordinates well. There we go. And I've got just a little bit of an overhang on that. So there is that, and then I have just a couple embellishments I want to put on. So I have the 2022-24 in color Baker's Twine pack. And we have this kind of pink and white one. So I'm going to use just a little bit of that. I'm just going to tie a bow with this. Just want a little small bow. So I tied it in a bow, and I'm just going to work those little ends to bring in my loops a bit. So I have a little bow, and then I'm just going to cut those ends off. And there is my little bow for his apron. I know it kind of makes him look girly, but you know what? It's okay. It's a birthday card. We want it to look like that. So I have just a mini glue dot. And to put that little bow on, I don't want just a big dot there because then it might stick to my envelope or whatever. So I'm just going to roll that dot up to where it's in a little line. And I'm going to put that little line where I want my bow, which is right on his top of his apron there in the corner. And there's a little bow to go on his little apron, like where he's tied it at. So he kind of tied his on the side. He's sassy. Okay, so then I have the 2023-25 in color dots. There's these pink dots here. I'm just going to grab one of them. I think I'm going to pick my tool. Get under that. And I'm using a small one, and I'm just putting it on top of my cupcake like a cherry. There we go. So we kind of have a cherry on top there. So there is our embellishment. And guess what? Our card is complete. So there is our card for today, all finished. Here is my original. I hope you enjoyed this project and that you give it a try. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my day. Toodles!